Hey guys, it's Kompeki here, and this video is one of many free live lessons inside of our training server. This month, we've been going through Duelist, so this mini lesson will be on how to play Yoru. Next week, I'll be teaching Raze, so make sure to join my Discord with the link below. Without further ado, let's get started. All right, let's start the class. So welcome guys to the weekly mini lessons that we've been having inside our training club server. And today I'll be teaching you guys how to play Yoru. I'll just go over a few things with him. But a bit about myself, I'm Kompeki. I've been Radiant since episode 1, and I'm also the founder of IRP, or the Immortal Roadmap program. And in this lesson today, we're going to be going over mindset, mechanics, attack and defending on Yoru, as well as quick breakdown of the game that Tens and Austin have played against each other on Bind. So with mindset, we'll talk about how you can use your TPs, your clones, everything to play mind games on your opponents. We'll also go over what makes a good Yoru versus a great Yoru, and we'll just go through some basic mechanics with his abilities, but also a lot of the advanced techniques that you can do with all the combinations that he has in his kit. And then we'll get into attacking and defending, so optimal playstyles for both on attack and defense. And yeah, Yoru also has a very unique skill set, so you'll have a very unique playstyle playing him as well. And we'll talk about why Yoru was picked on Bind, and we'll examine how he was played in the Sun versus 100 Thieves game. So this is Yoru's quote. I'll pick them apart, you clean up whatever's left. Yoru has very high mobility. He can definitely gather a lot more information than other duelists. With his clone, with his TP, he can just get info, get out safely if he needs to. He can also be very flexible, so he could set himself up for his own plays, but also be with his team and support them with the flashes that he has. And as a result of that, you can catch a lot of people off guard because they can never anticipate what you're actually going to do that round. The cons, I guess, to playing him is that he just has a very high skill ceiling, very high skill cap. So to truly master him will take a lot of hours of practice on him. And the delay on his teleport is also a con in a sense, because characters like Jet can just instantly dash, get out. Same thing with Reyna, dismiss, but there's like a 0.5 second delay on his TP, and also takes another 0.7 seconds to pull out his gun. He also does have a risky play style, because if you somehow mess up your TP plus flash combo, for instance, or if you try to go for a fake clone but they still shoot you, it's part of all taking calculated risks. So you just the best Yours will know, is this a risk that will pay off, right? Is this a low risk high reward play, or vice versa? And so key traits just to think about as you're playing him, he's very mobile. Even his ult, you can run really fast. He can TP around the map. He's very flexible as a result of that, and there's really no other character or agent in this game that's quite like Yoru. All right, so let's just go over the basic mechanics, the easy stuff. This is very simple, but something you should always know about Yoru when you play him, but also against him. So his fake out, which is his fake clone, lasts for 10 seconds when you deploy it, and it has 150 HP actually, so that's something to note. And then with his Q, his blindside, his flash, it takes 0.6 seconds to pop, and if you get fully flashed, it's 1.75 seconds as the blind duration, so it's pretty long. And his gate crash or his teleport lasts 30 seconds, so the moment you throw it, it'll last 30 seconds on the map, which is really long. And you actually get 2 of these too, which is really strong. And they actually have 60 health, so to break it, you have to shoot directly on the circle that's like at the top of the teleport. And his ultimate, it's only 7 points, and it lasts for 12 seconds when you're inside the ult. So you're essentially a human drone at that point for 12 seconds, which is, you could clear literally half the map if you want, because his movement speed also really fast. So with the basic mechanics out of the way, let's get into a lot of the advanced mechanics that you can do with his kit. So there are lineups that you definitely need to learn if you're going to play Yoru. I'm personally not a big fan of learning lineups and trying to memorize everything, so I don't play him that much. But hey, like if you're a lineup guy and you love getting in people's heads, definitely need to learn lineups so that you can easily rotate across the map. You can also try to throw lineups into enemy spawn to disrupt the rotations. There's a lot of different lineups that you can look into, and I can just show you some basic ones in a bit. And one-way flashes, his flash is unique in that it only pops after it bounces on a wall or the ground. So I want to show you an example right here. So for instance, a lot of bad like Yoru players might just throw a flash like this to like peek long, but a lot of times in these doorways, for instance, because the flash bounces, you can flash on the edge of the wall and get it to bounce behind the wall that you're going to peek from. So you're not going to be blinded and you can peek safely around the corner like that. And in the same way, when you're defending, for instance, let's say you hear enemies coming out, just throw a pop flash like this and you're going to be able to kill them all while they're fully blinded and you're not going to get flashed at all. His bounce actually pops exactly over these boxes that are 2 boxes in height. So what you can also do is just like flash on the ground and then peek and they'll be blinded. Yeah, that's an insane flash. That's an insane flash. Just get stuck. There's a lot more. There's so many lineups that he has. So other things that you definitely need to learn if you're gonna play Yoru is his flash TP combo. There are a few couple advanced things you need to know. Your TP does make a sound like when you teleport, and the enemies will be able to hear it. So to mask the sound of your TP, you want to TP as it's bouncing. And that's gonna mask the sound of your TP a bit, because when your flash also bounces, it does make an audio cue as well. And also another thing that you do need to be mindful of is the direction that you're facing when you are gonna TP. Your TP will always end in the direction that you are facing. So if I'm gonna TP right now and I'm facing left, after I finish TPing, I'm gonna be looking left. So this is really useful for you to know if you're gonna throw like a pop flash. Let's say, so I'm gonna TP here, and let's say I wanna flash a guy here, right? I wanna turn away from it. So I'm gonna TP, look away, and I'm gonna be half blind. Okay, so this is something that you definitely need to get used to with the flash TP combo. And then the fake clone. So you can easily throw a fake like this, go up together, and you can just act just like a clone just by not moving your mouse at all and just holding W key. So this is pretty useful if the enemies haven't really been shooting your clone. Even just throwing a fake clone and going out with it will force them to second guess which one is a real one. Sometimes you can throw it out in front of you and then follow it up together and then take the fight after they shoot your clone. Or what you can also do is right click, go in front of it, and then go in front, they shoot the clone, turn around and shoot. So you can kind of mix it up that way. And another thing that you can do as you're entering with this combo is you throw a clone down, right? If they instantly shoot your clone, what you can do is they're going to be looking at your clone to shoot it. So just throw the flash so that as soon as they shoot, or as soon as they look to shoot the clone, the flash also pops and it's like guaranteed that you'll hit the flash on them. Yeah, and that's pretty much how you do like a clone flash plus TP combo. You throw a TP, throw a clone, you shoot it, and a TP backside because they're going to be blinded. And also something cheeky that you could also do is, let's say you throw a TP like this long. Enemies will be able to see this TP if they're standing here. But sometimes you can time your flash in a way where even if you're not fully flashed, your screen turns white for a second, right? So you can try to time it in a way where you flash them as the TP is going through, so they don't notice the TP being there. And if, let's say you have like a fade or something also with you, then she could just deafen the whole team, and then you can teleport behind them and just shoot them all too. Yeah, let's talk about right clicking versus left clicking on the TP and the clone. So yeah, you can definitely throw a TP just straight onto the site, but you can also place it on the spot you want to TP back to. So you can essentially use it to rotate, you can use it to entry, but you could also use it as like a get out of jail card really quickly if you want to just take a quick fight and TP out again like that. You can do the same thing with the clone that I showed you, where you can time the entries with the clone at different times. And then let's talk about the ult plus shorty combo. So the shorty has one of the lowest equip speeds in the game. So if you see on the right hand side, it's 0.75. So it's really strong when you ult. And if you see someone, you can try to flash them and then come out of it and pull out a shorty, shoot them in the back. And it's especially strong when you're making use of the chaos, because as you're ulting, they're going to be able to see an indicator on their screen that you're looking at them while you're ulted. And so they're not going to know when you're going to pop out. And as your teammates are coming out too, and you're providing info for them, you're going to be able to pop out and just kill them instantly. And there are important ult combos that you should definitely know about. I mentioned fade, where you can deafen your opponents. So it's really strong if you, let's say, ult, right? And your fade is with you. So you can just get info on where everyone is. Fade can 100% hit them because her ult has such a big hitbox. And if it hits them, you can just get behind them and then just get out of the ult. They won't be able to hear it. Same thing with like Sova ults, breach ults, even like a deadlock ult. As long as you just get info for them and you're not targetable at all, you can even just block them. Like just block them from running away and then just guarantee that they're gonna get hit by the Sova ult. And because you're invulnerable, you're not gonna get hit by the breach ult. So those are really strong combos that you could keep in mind of. And there used to be this thing where you can be completely invisible while you ult, but it did get patched. Like you used to be able to be completely invisible by having like your flash out, and they won't be able to see the UI around their screen that Yoru's looking at them, but I believe that got patched. And then lastly, this is kind of weird, but there's a self TP boost that you can do with Yoru on any single box in this game. I know you could just get on top of this by jumping out of heaven, but I'm just using this box as an example. So you could throw a clone in front of you and then right click on top to place a TP, and then you could just get on top of here. So you will have to use a clone, but that's how you can kind of boost on top of boxes. If you don't have this clone, you won't be able to place a TP on top. It'll just go to the ground. So let's talk about attack side. Your general goals as Yoru. He has a very unique playstyle due to his TP and due to his ability to make plays on his own. You could follow this playstyle where you lurk first on your own, try to make plays, and then group up with your team with your TP. And then you could also leave again to lurk on some other part of the map or even the site because you have your TP to get out of jail, essentially. You have two of them, which is really, really strong. And you could do the vice versa. You could be with your team and then TP out to make plays on your own, and then throw a TP back towards your team before you start lurking so that you could just group up again. And this way you're applying a ton of map pressure on the whole entire map. And if you adopt this playstyle, you'll always force enemies to guess which site your team's actually going to end up in. Because let's say you get a pick on one side of the map and then you TP out, or they don't even hear that. So then they have to use utility or have people there to clear you out. And vice versa. If you just decide to stay and they try to clear you out, you can try to go for another pick. And then if it gets dicey, you can just TP out. So you're just in their head constantly. And as you are also grouped up with your team in the beginning, you can also try to take space with the clone, flash, or TP combo, as I demonstrated earlier. And if you do have your ult, it's very, very strong to use it to get info on the map. You can use your abilities while you're in the ult as well. So you can get kills 100% sometimes. It's just essentially checkmate at that point. Can make a lot of solo plays, regroup again with team. Because Yoru has such a flexible play style, you should definitely communicate all the time how you're going to apply pressure on the map. So if you're going to lurk first and then group, or if you're going to group first and then lurk, you should just communicate that at the start of the round so your teammates are aware of it, so that they don't unnecessarily speed up the site hit or slow it down without them knowing what you're going to do. So now let's talk about what you want to do when you're defending on Yoru. At the end, I'll have examples of all of this too. So when you're defending, you have the ability to fast rotate with his teleports, which also makes him very, very strong in ranked. My general advice in solo queue, especially ranked, a lot of people don't really split push or even throw fakes a lot, especially in lower elo. So fast rotating is really, really strong. And that's what makes Yoru really, really strong in ranked, because a lot of times teams aren't as coordinated and you're going to be able to pick people apart and just get to sites really, really quick. And just like how I taught in the Jet Masterclass, you can also op on Yoru, because you could, let's say, fight B main on a with an op, but then TP out and you're instantly over on A. So it makes it really, really hard for attackers to know where you're going to be opping from. And because you have a get out of jail card, actually you have two of them for free because you have two teleports, it just makes it really strong actually for him to op as well. So supportive one-way flashes during retake, also one-way flashes when hearing footsteps coming to you. You can have bait and switch setups with teammates, and your ult is also commonly used for retakes to get info on the site, but you could also use that at the start of the round to get a ton of info, and if you want to make aggressive plays with the team. So this would be like an example of a supported one-way flash. It'll just bounce against this wall and it'll just blind the entirety of the site. Just throw a flash. Once it pops, your teammates can drop and kill people on site. And again, it's just like an easy one-way. You just throw it behind you, it'll pop, and you can just peek off of that as well when you hear footsteps. And then using your ult during retake, just get out on site. Got a lot of info for you. Just throw a bunch of utility. Just make it really chaotic for your teammates to come out. And at the start of the round too, you can also get really aggressive. Let's say the spawn barrier drop. You can just instantly ult. Get a lot of information that, okay, like they're not A. No one's here. They're not mid either. Then already like you're ready to just be at C by the time they're even hitting site. So that can be really strong. Now let's go through some examples in pro play. So for pro play, you want to get them to think, are they committing or not? And let's talk about how TENS does it it. So this is the 100 Thieves vs Sentinels games in the last qualifiers of LCQ. Let's look at pistol round here.
On the line playing for this one, we are fast, aren't we, off the pace? Look at this, the full rotation around to try and wrap in.
So notice how with Yoru's clone, he's able to take showers pretty much by himself. So he's using the clone like as if it's a drone. And because if they shoot it, then you have at least info that they're there. And if they don't shoot it, then you would just go up and kill them too. Just clear it. And because he set up his TP right here in cave, even if defenders are pushing out here because they have a read that Sentinels are going to start over on A, look at what happens. They try to wrap Tens, but he just gets out. And now Tens has all the info in the world that defenders are stacked towards A. And so now it just makes it really easy for them to go B. And it's pretty much a free round at this point. And you'll see this repeatedly over and over again in the way that he plays. Oh, but notice what he does here on the entry. So you see the TP coming out. So what he did was he threw the clone to the right and paired it up with the fake TP on his right side. So Bang had no idea where he was actually going to peek from, and made it really easy for Zekken just to throw a nade inside tube, and then he's just instantly dead. He can't do anything. So that's like a quick util combo you can do where you essentially try to guess, make it a 50-50 for them, which angle you're going to pop out from, and it makes it really uncomfortable for defenders. This is like a good example.
Can't fall into despair.
Yeah, again, Tens makes presence over on Shower, and Cryo is picking this. And look at that. Cryo has to always, he's hesitating here whether or not he should shoot this or not, because he sees this clone. And so Tens is essentially hiding behind the clone, crouch, throws off his cross replacement, wins this duel for free. And so he's able to make a lot of solo plays with this clone and all the flashes that he has. And again, he has a TP set up next to Sky. So he's lurking, and then he just TPs out, groups up with his team. And now look, that forces Sky to use her dog to clear all of Showers again. But by that time, Tens is already gone and grouped up with his team. And it's kind of cool to see Austin do that as well. He TP'd, got the info, and then he dips again to regroup with his team. And that's why Yoru, I think, got picked on this map, because with all the TPs, you could TP make sound, TP back, clear info just like Austin did, and then get back to spawn instantly. And so that's like the play style. Let's actually look at what he does, like even when he's defending, because he went over a tap. So just like a simple lineup right here against this wall, where it's angled, and it'll go all the way towards C. Goes so long. That's from the dart. So notice how he flashes with the clone, so that they're essentially looking at the clone, and it'll make it really easy to actually hit the flash on them. And check this out. Tens didn't see anyone long, and only a few people were spotted short, and lots of kills and trades happened. And so at this point, Tens is pretty confident. Okay, like some of them committed A, but the real hit might be on C. So he's just TPing right after. He doesn't hear anything else. And so look, he's already ready on C.
Phoenix is low, guys.
You'll see this playstyle over and over and over again.
I have no idea what you said.
So this is interesting. I guess he has like a C read. So he's gonna put a TP backside, and he's gonna take a closer angle. So just like how with Jet, you take like the first angle, you fall back with the dash to a second angle. That's what he's doing here.
I might get Sky on it.
That's pretty hard, because he had to shoot both the Phoenix ult and the Yoru clone. So he's pointing towards A. He throws a TP towards B.
Stand B?
The moment they hear B, he's just already on site. So there's 4 people holding this tiny choke. Like, what can they do? Yeah, so if you enjoyed that lesson, this is just the beginning. I'm gonna be teaching more classes on Duelist next week as well. So come through for that. And if you are interested in working with me and our team of Radiant coaches who have VCT experience playing a lot of different roles at the highest level, we have this Immortal roadmap program. So feel free to hit us up. Message me the word Yoru on this account if you want to hear more details and see if you'd be a good fit. You'll get one-on-one assessments of your mechanics, fundamentals, even your settings in the beginning. You'll get one-on-one coaching sessions every single week. We have 10-man scrims that happen every single week where we give you feedback. During and after the game, we listen to your communication as well. We have drills and dry runs to also help you practice and implement everything that we're teaching you. And you'll have lifetime access to all our lessons. So just like if you guys saw like my mechanics guide, the 46-minute video one, there's a ton of other lessons like that inside our program, and you do get lifetime access to our community as well. So yeah, if you want more info about it, just feel free to message me the word Yoru.